How does it like resonate to who you are today from like quitting that place to, rocking a business right now?
I was feeling like I was living in a world that wasn't mine.
Wow.
And I had to find a way out.
Yeah.
And I did. Just about how far do you want to go?
Yeah.
I came here and I spent 1 year first only working on my own healing. I was working with someone and the plan was to start a retreat center with her. And then it didn't work out and I didn't have a plan B.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Age podcast, a podcast where you get to meet a lot of entrepreneurs, digital nomads, and transformational people that would help you walk a journey. So today's episode is totally about that. It's about the transformation. It's about making a change and how would that start, from where we start and how we dive into that. So basically on this episode, I have a lovely, lovely lady, Sara, joining me for this episode. Sara is gonna give you a lot of ideas and tips on how to jump from the rock bottom to having like a successful business. She walked that walk and she talked that talk. And today's episode is also sponsored by Podcast Inc., your best partner for your podcasting journey. So make sure to check us out. I'm going to leave all the links down in the description. Without any further ado, I'm heading to Sara. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I'm super duper grateful that we get to do this, and I'm excited to know more about your journey and know more about like you starting a business here in Thailand. How does it feel to kind of like jump on that train? Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
So much fun. And yeah, I mean, this ride that I've been on, it's changed my life completely. I just packed my bag, a small carry-on bag, and walked out of my apartment. And I went to Thailand and I stayed. I built a business and here I am.
Yeah. Basically, during our small chit chat, I learned one thing, which you said, I'm more like a mirror. And I can just, give an idea about that. But I want you to share more about what it feels like to be a mirror.
It's an amazing gift to have, to be able to meet with people and in quite short amount of time, with their permission, of course, to dive deeper into what their problems really is all about. So what I do is that I can take a behavior or pattern or a problem that they have in like the 3D world and I can locate the root cause of that.
Yeah.
So me and my husband, we have the business together, Living with the Spirit, here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is a retreat center where people come to transform something in their lives. Yeah. It could be physical, emotional, spiritual, or all of the above.
Yeah.
Usually they're connected. Yeah. So that is one of the things that I do. My husband is an expert in nervous system regulation and somatic work. And I do more of the shadow work and the mirroring.
Yeah. That's lovely because basically you've done that before you helped other people.
Yeah.
And you said something that stuck with me, which is if you can't do that for yourself, you cannot help other people. And I love this. I really loved how this is related to you becoming like a successful entrepreneur and running a business here. And I know like for everyone, you have to lose something, whether it's a previous behavior or it's like a routine that you were like just following and it's not that helpful. So for you, how is it to kind of like jump into that train before introducing yourself to this new way?
For me, it started as my own journey. I was in a place where I had to change my life. My physical was falling apart, my emotional and my spiritual. I was feeling like I was living in a world that wasn't mine. Wow. And I had to find a way out. Yeah. And I did. So I started my own deep personal healing journey about 10 years ago. And then 7 years ago, I moved to Thailand. Yeah. And going on that deep journey myself, that was the only way that I could live.
Yeah.
And on that path, I also met my husband, and we share that path.
Wow.
So we are 100% devoted to healing ourselves and healing other people. And that's the only thing we do.
Yeah.
So through that journey, it started to become easy because we were so devoted, and it's like we made a full commitment to go full circle to find, it's almost like the truth about healing. And so that we could not only heal one thing within ourselves, but all of the things.
Yeah.
And when we started to do that, people started to gravitate towards us because they could realize and understand that, oh, you did that, you've done that, I want that too. So that's how it all started. So we are still on our journey, and there's so much you can learn and do. So it's more about helping other people walking the same road or the same path, but we just walked further or farther. So we follow our teachers who has, made more steps than we have, and then we help people who
That's lovely. So what can you say about healing? Like in general, people be like, oh, I'm healed, I'm with God and something like this. But you, as someone that actually walked the walk and then now helping other people as well, what can you say about it? Is this something that you can just get it done and move on?
I call it the ascension process. Some people call it the evolutionary process. Some people call it the road to enlightenment or whatnot. The road is pretty much the same, but it's just about how far do you want to go?
Yeah.
So if I want to heal the problems that I have with my lower back that I've had since when, we all have these, I've had that problem since when.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I want to heal just something specific or if I want to go all the way to enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's the same path.
Yeah.
It's about letting go of things. It's about changing your belief systems. It's about exactly what you said, like stop doing things.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And going on the healing journey, it's individual.
Yeah.
It's up to each and every single one. How some people don't want to heal.
Yeah.
Some people just want to heal that shoulder.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's completely fine because we are all here on our own journey.
Yeah.
I can tell you, you need to, even though I can see, wow, this person would just unlock this and that and that.
Yeah.
If they could do this and this and this, but I'm not the one to tell you what to do. I can just tell you and show you that it's possible.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So people are drawn to us. Generally, people are drawn to us who want to go a little bit deeper, who either have deeper situations that they really need help with, or they feel I want to go far.
Yeah. Yeah. They can just jump into the, the chain of change here.
Yeah, you can jump it.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, and then all about changes and all about that. Some people call it's lonely. And they say I cannot deal with loneliness. It's part of that journey and I'm not ready for it yet, right? I'm not a lot of people that actually are doing great in terms of that, but they were you know what, I stopped doing it because it was so lonely for me. Now for you, you met your husband through that journey, but before that, do you call some challenges that you face, or is there anything that you can highlight from that era before jumping with a partner?
I mean, everyone who knows me from that era knows that years before I started this journey, I started to withdraw from a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why I know that my journey started before I came here, because I was studying with different teachers and I just felt a very, very strong calling to do something else. I knew that I had to go into myself.
Yeah.
And I knew that the patterns and the behaviors and the social lifestyle and everything that I had was affecting me in a negative way.
Yeah.
Not that all the people were bad or it's not about that. It just wasn't for me. And I was working in corporate and I had very, very high stress and, I had all the stress problems. Yeah. And to manage my health, I had to start to withdraw. Yeah. So I was spending a lot of time for myself, and the time that I had, I focused on improving my health. Mm-hmm. But I realized that the information where I'm from Sweden, so in Europe, like the Western world, there is only a certain kind of information that is like readily available. It's like meditation, it's exercise, it's nutrition, and but the healing is so much deeper. And I was looking for this information, but I couldn't find it, so I had to go. And for me, it was completely natural to go within, and I have no problem with the loneliness. Because with the people that I make connections with, it's so much deeper and they're so profound, and I don't need the, it's more like quality over quantity. I would say.
I can definitely relate on this one. And basically because you had a strong desire to kind of like jump into the change, and you had like great commitment following that as well. You were able to kind of like just accomplish some results within those years of like focusing on only your health and stuff. But then like you tapped into, I'm going to start a business here in Thailand. Tell me more about like how you found like this idea, what pushed you to kind of like just, jump as well on that train?
Well, it's funny because I came here and I spent 1 year first only working on my own healing. And I was working with someone that the plan was to start a retreat center with her. And that didn't work out, and I didn't have a plan B.
Oh my God.
And then, and then me and my husband, Simba, we decided to sell everything we owned. So we went back to Sweden, sold everything we owned. And then with 2 suitcases each, we went to Thailand. And this plan A didn't come through. So we were standing there with our 2 bags.
There's something about people that only, rock with plan A. Basically, I always find them doing their best, like everything to just make the plan A work, simply because there is no plan B. But for you, it's like, it's a bit risky to sell everything you have and to jump into a country that you don't know. So I guess like that also comes with like some fear and some, fears related to something new, but also fears of like, oh my God, sold everything I own.
And I mean, when I have to admit that I was a little bit shook when the plan A didn't work. But I was very quick to say, okay, what, like on to the next. And so then the only thing that we could do was to start a business. But my fear was not starting a business in a new country. My fear was having to go back to my old lifestyle.
Oh my God,
So, and Simba was the same. It was like anything but going back, like anything.
Wow.
And when we've had, discussions or had these fears coming up, but I remember telling him like, whatever happens, we will find a job, We have educations, we just have to work. It's not what we want. But we will survive. I mean, there's...
Trying to come up with an idea of like plan B. So
I just tried to make him feel comfortable, I think. Because I knew that this is going to work. I've been knowing this since forever. That this is... My teacher says, the path, you don't choose the path sometimes. The path chooses you, and that's exactly what happened to me. 100%.
But something like during our coffee chat, basically you said like you were also part of like the corporate world and you were making like good and you were living good and stuff. But most people won't give up on that and jumping on unknown, uncertain path like how you did. So how does it like resonate to who you are today, from like quitting that place to, rocking a business right now? So,
I mean, I didn't choose to leave. I was kicked out. Basically, my body was falling apart. Everything was falling apart for me, even though it might not have looked like that on the outside. On the inside, I was crumbling because I felt like I was being suffocated in it, because I'm so meant to be what I'm doing now, but I was supposed to have the experience from my previous lifetimes, so to speak. That's how it feels like now.
Yeah.
So everything is exactly how it was supposed to happen. But I was so, I mean, it was like my soul was pushing me out. Because it was so difficult for me. I had to find a way out. I had to find a solution to my problems. It was, I had no other choice. It wouldn't have worked if I stayed. Everything would have fallen apart. So I had to leave. And so when I came here, I was so dedicated. I was so dedicated to find the solution to my health. And I did. And
look at me now.
so then people started to want the same, you know? And my husband is a genius when it comes to health and healing and nervous system and somatic work. I mean, he can basically heal anyone. So, you know, people want that.
I mean, like, who would want, like, to, you know, heal from past trauma and, you know, move it on so easily, kind of accept the things and stuff. And also deal with the guilt and the shame that sometimes, you know, we carry with ourselves. And we kind of like, you can just see all people's faces. Some people just carry their trauma and you can just see it as well. But as you said, like, you cannot help unless, you know, they are like into that stage of like wanting or needing the help. So, which is something I really, really loved about how you're, you know, like putting the business together. And I know with that, it's like during your journey, it's like you were so masculine to kind of like deal with a lot of things. And now like you're with a partner. And this is something that I like to ask from time to time, which is how you are balancing between your, you know, masculine, you know, I can this job, I can do this, I can do that. And then feminine time of like, oh, let me just put my lipstick on, you know, and sit down and, you know, feel pretty for like 2 hours. So how do you kind of like balance between both?
That has been one of the bigger things that I had to work with, actually, because I was coming from corporate, and before corporate, I had another lifetime of not so healthy lifestyle. So I was completely in my masculine. I was only wearing black. I was only tough. I got like full sleeves, tattoos.
So pretty.
You know, but I was tough. And that was a safety mechanism. It was a way of surviving. And that's also one of the things that was driving me into the wrong place before I left, because it's so draining. It was causing so much stress. So when I came here, I started to become a little bit aware of it, but it wasn't until a bunch of years ago that I really understood the balance between the masculine and the feminine. And I had to really, really work on that protective shield that I had, because it was on every layer in my system. So now, I wear black sometimes.
You're pretty in this color.
Thank you so much. But it's more of a behavior of how to lean back. So it's about the balance, like having the masculine structures. I'm very, very good at that. So I had to create the masculine structures so I could fall back to the feminine receiving within the structure. But it has been, it takes a little bit of time, especially when coming from where I did. It takes a little bit of time.
I totally.
You have to be kind to yourself.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, you will have to be so kind to yourself and to kind of like just carry yourself with that kindness of like, you're your own best friend and kind of like just dealing with it throughout the way. But at the same time, it makes me feel like, you've done like heavy work on all the sides before you jump into a business where you get to help like other people and stuff. Now, you opened your business before COVID, right?
2018.
So, and then the opening, and then you had like people joining and you were like helping a lot of them. So throughout your journey, is there anything that is like remarkable within like the people that you were helping and reminded you of like, oh my God, I worked so hard on myself that now like I can just see through people, help people and stuff?
I mean, it's the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to boost myself in any way, but having the sessions and the conversations and, you know, the group settings and everything that we provide, and just see the transformation and see and feel the reactions of people and get the responses and the feedback after. You know, when you're there, people changing their lives.
Yeah.
And I'm not the one changing their lives. They are doing it, but I guide them and they get the results because they trust me.
Yeah.
And that trust is just, I mean, if I don't control myself now, I would get emotional straight away because the love that I mean, it's like my teacher says, like, show who you are and really lean in and trust yourselves and show your ability.
Yeah.
And people allow people to fall in love with you because that was my blockage also, you know, keeping people away and, you know, not showing who I am and then having these amazing connections with people.
Yeah.
And taking them to places and lighting that little light of hope and just guiding them out. Yeah. And when they come out, it's breathtaking. Yeah. Yeah, now I get emotional anyway, but it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah. I can totally relate on that. And I love this about you. You offer a great space, and I don't know if you actually get my message that way, but the day that we met, I actually felt warm. When I hugged you and we sat and we talked, it just feels like I can tell you everything. You offer that space and it's a gift. And I love that you said, like, allow people to love you.
Yeah.
It's something that I also had to learn throughout my journey of like, yeah, this person is just trying to help, allow them. This person is just trying to love you, allow them. So I do get it that, and why you get emotional through it, because it has like a lot of meaning, especially for someone that builds shades to kind of like just cover and save themselves from the word.
Yeah.
So I totally can like relate on that side. But on the other hand, I do believe that your partner kind of like just walk with you as well and light that for you. So how does it feel? Describe him.
Describe Simba. He's people love Simba. He's the magician, the healing magician, but he's also he's 7 years younger than me. Yeah. So I think he took on a mission to marry me with because I know what I want, and I mean I'm working on my feminine, but I'm pretty, you know, I know what I want, and yeah, that's very funny. So as he has been stepping into his masculine, and I've been watching him grow during this transformation, it's just finally I have somewhere where I can, you know, rest my head and be just who I am on that day, in that emotion, in anything. And if we're talking from a healing perspective and a nervous system perspective, the safety that the man can provide, or the masculine, I would say, because we all have masculine and feminine inside of us, but the safety that the masculine can provide when they are in their healthy masculine is something that I'd never experienced before. It's almost like the whole body. You said that you get that warm feeling. Yeah, that times, I don't know, like 100. And it's just like cotton on the whole. It's just like laying down on something very soft and feeling so safe. Yeah. And the healing that I could get when he did his work would take me to the next level. Wow. So it is the union that is the power. Yeah. So, I mean, we've been struggling. I mean, we sold everything we owned. We started a business, and we just put everything on one bet. Yeah. Everything.
Whether it's going to work or it's not going to work.
But we also signed up as the couple. It was us together that was the solution. Yeah. So it was a good thing that we kind of locked everything in on one option. Yeah. Because it also meant that if one wanted to leave, everything would fall apart. True. And whenever we had a really, really rough time, the option was to walk away from everything. Yeah. And that was never an option. Yeah. So because we put ourselves in that situation, we did follow through and push through and came out on the other side, and everything just bloomed from that. Yeah. Yeah.
you had like a really, really amazing story about like, you know, transformation to success and all of that. So I do appreciate like the fact that you're also, you know, leaning toward like it's also on progress type of journey for me. And so it's not that I'm done with healing, that everything is done, everything is, you know, love you always and something, but it's more like, no, I am actually still on the process. I'm on a different level than, you know, the people that I'm helping right now, which is so helpful for them to kind of like just tap into themselves and switch that, you know, darkness to a lighter place. And you get to just guide them through it. So in terms of like guiding people, like you have different programs and you do have different ideas around that. Can you tell me more about it?
So basically, we created a space where we want to live.
Okay.
That is optimal for our healing.
Okay.
And then we invite people into that space. So our retreat space is currently also our home.
Yeah.
It might not be like that in the future, but it's been like that from the beginning, and it's still like that.
Yeah.
So people come into our space, and that's where they can go very, very deep with profound space holding and guidance.
Yeah.
So we have a signature retreat offer that is 21 days. So we used to have it open for a longer period of time, but now over the years, we have really boiled it down to something that is doable for people.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's deep and it's very, very powerful. So that is like our signature product, because it's then you work one-on-one with us.
Yeah.
Also in groups, but you're in our space.
Yeah.
But then not everyone can go to Thailand. Not everyone wants that kind of work, because at the retreat you go very deep and into something specific.
Yeah.
And you also get the body work, so you go very, very deep in the body. But if you're gonna have sustainable transformation, you also need to implement it in the life that you're actually living.
Yeah.
So people come to the retreat to work through certain things, and then they do our online mentorship program to implement what they learned. Or if they can't come to the retreat, we work with them online.
Yeah.
So they are a little bit different. And then sometimes we offer here and there. Like today, I'm launching an offer because one person wanted to work with me in my high level program, but it wasn't the exact setup that she wanted. Yeah. So then I just decided, because it's my business and I can do anything, and I just follow the energy. Yeah. So I created another offer for her that is like a
that would fit into her.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, 4 other people are invited. Yeah. So, you know, just opening up the universe to see who's coming. So that's how I operate. So we have 2 main offers, and then sprinkle a little bit with something fun.
I love it. And basically, your place is just offering space for people before like all of this. And I do understand how important it is to have a safe space. A space where you get to share things without being judged, without the fear of like, oh my God, that person's going to judge me or something around that. So I do understand like the first step, even like that, you know, just the space is a lot for people. Some people just be needing that space. Would you say that this is something actually you needed at a certain part or a certain point in your life?
I mean, I'm creating the space that I wanted. I didn't have that kind of guidance. Yeah. No, my teachers were the kind of old school, like more straight up. Yeah. Straight into silence. Like I needed to figure out things on my own, and you know. Yeah. So basically, I'm creating something that I know works. Yeah. And the support and the safety for the nervous system is the absolute key. Yeah. And as you mentioned, being in a space where you're not judged and you're not shamed and you're not blamed, and you have to be allowed to let the body speak. Yeah. And be able to speak however it wants to speak. Yeah. And to create a space for people to explore. Like what's actually going on underneath all of this. Yeah. So that's why we have our retreat space out in the jungle. It's like back to basic. It's like very earthy. It's
Go back to nature.
yeah, back to nature. And we only have 4 spots, so it's very intimate, and it's a lot of
heavy work.
yeah. But it's also the most beautiful thing that you can do, and people are loving it. It's
Yeah, definitely. Especially because you're the one guiding it. You're the one knowing where they are, and you're the one knowing how to get them out of it and put them into the place where they want to be. So which makes it more fun for you as well to kind of like just help another person and connect with them. After, the time that you actually needed someone to do that for you, now you are the one doing that for other people. Do you call yourself a giver or like a receiver at this point?
I'm probably giving too much. So I'm trying to balance it, because the masculine is the giver and the feminine is the receiver.
Yeah.
So my goal is to have both open. It's like both hands. So you give with the right hand, you receive with the left hand.
Yeah.
My goal is to have both open.
Yeah.
So it can just flow.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going more and more to the giver, because my energy is constantly getting higher, and I learn more and more. So I have an abundance, an overflow to share.
Yeah.
And that's my whole purpose, to share.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I want to share.
Yeah.
And help people to find that empowerment inside, to kind of, like the little seed going through the dirt, not knowing how far it is to see the sun.
Yeah.
And, maybe not getting the water, and just, they don't know, because it's difficult, to find themselves crack open.
Yeah.
So being able to support that is, that's the whole point of getting all this energy and overflow is to share.
Yeah.
So
basically, I do have the similar thing, which is like, I noticed myself as a giver. And then I was just, doing my research about it, because I like to kind of know myself. I feel like we're always on a journey where we will have to learn things about ourselves all the time. And then I realized, like, given it has like a big relation with me, being masculine around things. And I'd be like, oh, I can take care of that. Because this is the only way of me, knowing or introduced to on how to help other people. I always like to share, I always like to give. But as you said, I'm more getting it open toward like the receiving part of it. Like, no, I have to just sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to balance it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if we don't receive, there's no overflow.
Yeah.
So there has to be the balance.
Yeah.
But as you receive, you can give more. And as you can give more, you can receive more, because you become better at balancing. So it's this. That's why I love calling it the ascension process, because it's this upwardly going spiral that everything just becomes better and better and better.
True.
So it's just this bottom layer that you need to kind of crack through, and then you can you start to see, and you see that you're sprouting and you're flowering.
Well, yes, you are today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, it's also part of it. It's also wanting to be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is like something that you'll scroll on TikTok and you just decide like, oh my God, I'm becoming that. But it's more of like something coming inside and saying like, this is wrong for me. I gotta just jump into something else. And I do believe like this is something that you went through. And this is the reason why you are on this journey of like, running your business. So is there any challenges you faced here as, a business owner in Thailand in general?
No. No, this has been so easy for us.
It's been so easy to set it up and to just put it out there for people.
Okay, now I get emotional again, because the love I have for this country is beyond. I feel like this is that this country was calling me.
Yeah.
So as soon as I step foot on this land, I feel so supported, and I feel so loved, and I feel so welcome.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So people tell us that, wow, you did this so quickly, and like everything's so smooth. And I just had complete trust to the people that I found to work with, and we've been so guided and supported, and everything has been absolute smooth sailing in that. Yeah, I have so much gratitude for this country.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I can definitely relate. I can relate because when you feel the peace, when you feel like the space is like placed for you, it kind of like, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
I'm meant to do this. So it's how you would get emotional because you just feel so grateful for all.
So grateful. There's no country like Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're finding it, you know, that easy to kind of tap into it.
And Chiang Mai, let's not even start.
Yeah. I mean, Chiang Mai is like a peaceful place, and you also get to, you know, just feel the peace and live your day as simple as it is. So yeah.
For healing.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it is like some sort of vortex. There's so many people gravitating to this place. And
Definitely.
It's the vibe and the energy here is absolutely amazing, and with all the mountains, and it's so grounding, and it's attracting a completely different crowd, and it's so beautiful everywhere. I mean, I can talk forever.
Yeah. Yeah, you consider it more like your space.
It's amazing.
So compared to your home country, Sweden, you think that this is actually a better place for you?
100%. I mean, I love Sweden, and whenever I go, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And I love the cold, and I love the...
I was going to say, the cold. And the weather here is all summery. So I wanted to know, like, whether you miss or you have, like, homesickness from time to time.
I miss the weather. And people in Sweden, I mean, there's a joke that summer is the most beautiful day during the whole year.
You always don't want it.
I mean, we have like 4 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
But it's the weather is something that everyone is kind of complaining about, and I mean, it is cold and it's a bit harsh, but for me, the heat is so hot. I mean, it's just so hot, and my body loves the cool. So I love that Chiang Mai has seasons.
Yeah.
That the winter that we have now, I absolutely love it. I love
Still summer, but we call it winter.
Yes, but it's cool. I mean, it can be. We live out in Doisekhet by the mountains, so it can get pretty cold.
Yeah.
But the summer, the daytime is like the perfect summer day.
Yeah.
It's like between 25, 28 degrees.
Yeah.
And you can be out in the sun. You can be outside all the time.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. But when I say to people, what do you miss about Sweden? The weather. People can actually get a bit aggressive. They're like, what? It's like, I'm not allowed to say that.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, you live in Thailand. It's like, it's everyone's dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I say it's a bit too hot, and then they don't understand it.
Yeah. I would love to hear some tips. I would love to hear some ideas or some logos or mottos that actually changed out your life.
Wow. So the main reason why I'm in this healing circus, which it can be, you know, it's so much going on. It's a jungle. You know, people don't know where to start.
True.
So what I always say is that if you're going to work with someone, choose someone that you trust.
Yeah.
That you feel when you meet them, you get to know them before you start working with them. If it's a deep journey, just feel in your body and feel if you trust this person. Because if you don't trust the person you work with, it will not work.
Yeah.
Because the nervous system is super sensitive.
Yeah.
It can read other people.
Yeah.
So, and then choose someone who's done what you want to accomplish. So if you have those two together, then the person knows what they're doing and your body trusts that person, and then you will have success. But the other thing is also to really, it's only the people who want to heal.
True.
Because if you are not open to look at your shadows, it's not going to happen. So the three main keys I would say to healing is regulating the nervous system, working through the body, because everything we've experienced is stored in the body if we weren't able to process it at that time. And it manifests through pain or illness or different symptoms that we don't appreciate. And then it's the shadow work.
Yeah.
because we need to look at the things that is uncomfortable. We need to look what's beyond the shame we need to look at. So there's a saying is that success is hidden in the work that you're avoiding. I
totally agree on this one, especially when you said like it's a whole circus, a whole jungle.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I do from time to time when I'm having, you know, a talk with my circle and with my people, I'd be like, I want to just throw words because I don't know where to start. And right now I just need someone to hold space for me. Yeah. And I'll be like just throwing those words. So from time to time, I'll be like just connecting those words and I get into what is wrong. So, and then I feel like, okay, if I didn't do that first step of like just throwing those words that are like just rushing inside my body, I would just have to face like a breakdown for no reason. And I'd be like, well, why I'm going through this? But it's mostly, you know, the work that, as you said, it's in the work that you're actually avoiding. So if I avoided that, I'm going to have like a, you know, some consequences to deal with. So I do believe like this is something that you also you know, do for your patients as well, if I could call them this way.
Yeah, we call them guests or students. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to know what to call them. So.
Yeah. So basically, I love that you go through this journey with each one of them, and you kind of like just put them in a different spot in their life. So I would love if you can just give us one last thing for this episode for my people. And for everyone watching you today, like, how do you feel about, you know, sitting here, sharing all of this story, being comfortable talking about it in front of people, and at the same time, kind of like just giving them a hope, giving them an inspiration that, you know what, you gotta just do the work that you're avoiding at this point.
So sitting here, being in front of other people, sharing my knowledge was something that I avoided. So in the corporate world, I got requests for doing different big things, but I always keep sending my team.
Okay.
And I was hiding behind, because I was the leader. And, you know, like, no, I built my team, you know. Yeah. I was hiding behind that. Okay. But the truth was that I did not have the confidence to do it. Mm-hmm. I got super stressed and got a lot of anxiety about it. So I refused.
Yeah.
So now I completely worked that through. I feel super calm and confident. I mean, it's very easy to be with you. I have to give you that because I really have to give you that. You're phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I worked through that, and I have no problem with doing these things because it's not about me. It's about the message.
Yeah.
And my message is to give people hope that there is things that you can do about your situation and your health on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. Yeah. And that is the message. And that's when it becomes easier. It's included in the path chose me. Mm-hmm. So I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to share.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really matter what people think of me.
Yeah.
It's not about me.
I love that. Yeah, I'm actually so honored that you are doing this, and you're also vulnerable to say that usually you don't jump into things like this. But I loved one thing, and I have to say as well, basically you're a person that is going to show up with their, you know, being authentic and without any kind of like here and there. And at the same time, without a plan, you can just sit down and have the conversation. Mind you, like our podcast is not scripted. It's definitely something that coming out of our hearts and talking it through. So I love that about you. It's like having the courage to just, you know what, I don't have any idea. I'm going to just go there and figure things out while I'm walking it. So that makes sense of like how you would just go with another person and kind of like tap into that idea as well. But yeah, I love this so much. Thank you so much, Sara, for joining me today. It was a pleasure actually to spend this time with you, and I won't regret to having it one more time.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, and share it with your friend that is struggling with like avoiding the work. Tell her that there are like things that you have to face at this point. If you need any help, if you're around Thailand, don't forget to check out Sara. I'm going to leave her website down below in the description. And see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.